This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. On the double. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I got one.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, watch the slant.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Off play action. Leary. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, check my 50. Vikings. We're going to 54. Going to 54. Right in. We're going to 54. Right in. Double up.
Now Prescott going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 47. 50's the mark. I got you. You're all up, baby. Get this. You're all up. Then we're going to 53. Fresno. Back. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kiki QT, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Come on.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Snap.
From the gun, Leary. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Ready.
To throw on 3rd down. Leary. Able to find Davis. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Ready.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46.
59. Mike's 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a give, right side. Milton. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, Haywood. 44, Mike, 44.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's
Fight.
To throw on 2nd down. Leary. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the 1st. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Mike Fofo. Yo.
On 1st down, Leary. He's going to air one out. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the 1st down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On the draw, it's Pollard. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Hey, high 7. Please dribble.
On 3rd down, Leary. Eluding the pressure right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Here we go, set. 18 Gator.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Zerline good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
A gain of 11 on the play.
Come on, fellas.
First down, Vikings.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You must be dreaming.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Ready.
Off the play fake. Leary. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Packers 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. On first down, Milton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
First down.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Ready? 30 base. Check. 53 is mine. I'm here all day. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Leary. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On 2nd down, Milton. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
3rd down and 12.
Ready.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here I come. Protein spill. Sponge. Go.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard, and he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Hey, kill. 27.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And Robinson with a big catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Here we go. 480. 50. I got it. 26.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Flushed out right. And his throw here is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw is Prescott. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. The Vikings on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll throw again. Prescott. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Packers
Here we go. Here we go.
first and 10
Here we go.
at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Let's get it.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now it's Smith running right. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of right around 30 on a play that began way back inside the 5. They were probably just looking for a couple yards of breathing room, snapping the ball at their own 2. Well, they got a lot of breathing room.
And even knowing that offenses are as aggressive as they are now in the NFL, you still expect them to run the football in that situation. Why weren't they ready? Instead, it turns into a monster game and gets them way from the shadow of their own end zone.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check safety, check safety.
1st down, Prescott. It's complete to Diggs. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. 1st down, Vikings.
Here we go. Go right in. 50. 3 bucks, 3 bucks.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Back to you. I'm going back to you. Mike 50.
Hey, kill.
Keep it up, guys. Hey, Mike 50. Mike 50. Mike 50. Come on. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Mike 50. Mike 50. Hey, get in the weight room. Hey.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Smith. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Ready. 60 or 80 weapon.
He's coming. Double up.
Ready.
To throw from his end zone, Leary. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. To throw from his end zone, Leary. He sets to fire and got his man complete. The 40, past the 20. 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career, but what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there, and boy, it was pretty.
So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission? Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
We got this. At their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, Milton. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
53, Mike 53.
Operating from the gun. Leary trying to lay one up deep. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10.
Check, crunch.
Throwing again. Leary. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Milton, and he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Escaping the pressure right, and that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. They run the counter. Milton, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check, 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 check.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Zadarius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Well, the second down throw on target. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The throw over the middle taken in. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Let's go. Hey, we got 5.
On 3rd and 2, Leary flush to his right, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So it's his 3rd field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Prescott now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
25 yards that time.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They'll run on first down. It's Robinson. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Come on, QB. We're going to 54 wires. 57.
Prescott on first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Switch.
They run the counter. Robinson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
On the set.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Here we go.
Throwing on first down. Leary. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Run for Pollard. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, as far as plays go, there's nothing to write home about on that one because that one gets some negative yardage. But if you do want to find a positive, he found a way to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, Leary. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that'll bring them back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Out, 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 out.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down now. It's Robinson, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
A loss of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to throw up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check 52.
They go back to the ground with Smith. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Smith. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip. Right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
Big momentum swing here in the 4th on the punt fumble. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And
as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here we go. 57, come on. Here we go.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your